Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we have another top 5 list for you guys. The top 5 DVDs of 2011. So 2011, I would say, was a pretty disappointing year for WWE DVDs overall. The ones that were good were just great, knocked them out of the park. And the ones that were there were just kind of re-released or didn't really hit the mark of where they could have been. So let's get into this list with number 5. Coming in at number 5 is probably one of my more personal favorite DVDs. Gonna go with The Big Show, Giants World. Always been a fan of The Big Show, Paul White. And I know a lot of people may not like this DVD or probably don't like this DVD or don't have it, whatever. But I've always liked The Big Show. I always liked the Giant from WCW. It's a pretty good DVD overall. You know, it highlights Big Show's career from start to up to this point in 2011. It's got a lot of his career highlights, matches with Hogan at Halloween Havoc, matches with Ric Flair on Nitro, Sting, Stone Cold Steve Austin, winning the WWF title at Survivor Series 99, Brock Lesnar in 2002, the match with Floyd Mayweather at WrestleMania 24. Overall, I would say it's a solid DVD set. One of my personal favorites. Number 4 probably could be number 1 on a lot of people's list. But for me, there's 3 DVDs better than this one. Gonna go with Randy Orton's Evolution of a Predator. I do wish we had a more updated Randy Orton documentary since this is now 8 years old. I did decide to go with the Blu-ray on this one. But the thing I don't like about this DVD is the fact that it's kind of a somewhat thrown together day in the life documentary where they kind of follow him around leading up to his match with CM Punk at WrestleMania 27, and in between that they do the documentary and stuff like that. But overall, I think it's a really good set. Pretty good documentary overall. They do go through his childhood, his training days, his days with Evolution, the next diamond in the rough, his injuries, his legend killer stuff. When he was in the Marines, dark days and things like that. Also have a great match selection. Got matches with Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan, Texas Bull Rope match versus Dusty Rhodes. Got a match on SmackDown here with Christian for the World Heavyweight title. There is a few great Blu-ray exclusives. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches extra. We got a Hell in a Cell match versus Sheamus. They probably could have left that off here. Yeah, one of my favorites here. You even got a match from OVW versus Slick Robbie D. His debut on SmackDown versus Hardcore Holly. Definitely pick this one up if you don't have it. It's Randy Orton. Now, numbers 3 through 1, you could probably slot them anyway, and you wouldn't be wrong in my opinion. But number 3 is going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin's Bottom Line on the most popular superstar of all time. 3-disc Blu-ray, 4-disc DVD set. This is one hell of a DVD set they put together here. It's one of only 4 3-disc Blu-rays if you count the Monday Night Wars releases and the Undertaker Streak DVD. But the only, superstar documentary set to be 3-disc on a Blu-ray. This documentary set goes well over 2.5 hours. It's really well put together, from his days of football and wrestling to his days in World Class and WCW, ECW, and finally WWE. They cover a lot of stuff, and they go all the way up until I believe they cover the Tough Enough stuff there. Really good set. The thing I like about this is they put all the skits together on one disc. So you got like the Austin and Tyson, you got the Zamboni, you got the Bedpan McMahon segment, the Cement Corvette, the Bang 316, the Beer Truck, all these great segments put together. And of course you got great matches as well with Austin and Angle. You also have, let's see, Austin and Jake, King of the Ring. WrestleMania 13 versus Brett. Austin and Rock. I believe this one had, the Blu-ray has all three from WrestleManias 17, 19, and 15, I believe. We also got a match versus Bret Hart. My opinion of Bret Hart, actually. Segment there from In Your House. Austin versus The Undertaker from SummerSlam 98. Honestly, it's one of the best documentaries WWE's ever done. Probably top 5 all-time releases. Number 2 and number 1 I actually had flipped around at first, but for me, I think I made the right decision here. Number 2, The True Story of WrestleMania. Since this release, we have had 3 counterparts to this release, being The True Story of the Royal Rumble, 30 Years of SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. And all 3 of those DVDs did not live up to expectations. The True Story of WrestleMania is definitely a classic DVD, and honestly, it's one of my favorites. Go back and watch every year, every so often. But the way they put this documentary together was just fantastic. From the beginning to the WrestleMania being born, they go from pretty much in order at first. They go from WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 4s and 5 in Atlantic, New Jersey. Then they go through 6 and 18. Then they go through 7 and 8. WrestleMania 9, the Toga Party. Honestly, this is one of my all-time favorite DVDs. I could never say a bad thing about it. Match selection is really good as well. You got the WrestleMania 1 main event, Savage and Steamboat, Hogan and Andre, Savage and Warrior. The first IC Championship ladder match at WrestleMania 10. You got Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, the Triangle ladder match from 16. Shane McMahon versus Vince, Rock versus Hogan, Lesnar and Angle, John Cena and Triple H. We have 3 Blu-ray exclusives, WrestleMania 24's Money in the Bank ladder match, Batista and John Cena, and Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker from 25. So honestly, this is one of those DVDs that highly recommend. And of course, before we get into our number 1 DVD of 2011, let's take a look at a couple honorable mentions. It was hard to come up with a few honorable mentions here, but I'm going to go with the Best of Nitro Volume 1. And probably the Best of King of the Ring, or the OMG Top 50 Volume 1. I know those aren't the greatest DVDs ever, but like I said at the beginning here, they really didn't have many good to great DVDs in 2011. The ones that were good, they knocked them out of the park. The ones that were there, they were just kind of their repeats. We also had the Ladder Match Volume 2. the other DX DVD, One Last Stand, the Greatest Cage matches, the Rey Mysterio DVD, and the Greatest Superstars of the 21st Century. So not the best DVD year overall. So my number one DVD of 2011 is honestly one of my favorites of ever. The Greatest Rivalries DVD, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. This DVD is honestly, it could be in my top five all time. It's that good. Love the artwork they put together here, kind of featuring different things from WrestleMania 12 and 1996, 97 here. Um, I got this when it first came out in 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, but I did get rid of it, and it was one I always wanted back. The weird thing about this is they could have included the Survivor Series 97 match. I think it should be included here. Sadly, it's not. But, just a great interview here with Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, sitting down with JR. It goes, again, about 2.5 hours. Disc 2 and 3 are matches all with Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. You got some matches between the Rockers and the Hart Foundation. You got their Iron Man match from WrestleMania 12. And then you got both their Hall of Fame inductions. Really good set, really well put together. Highly recommend this set as well. Let me know your thoughts, guys. As always, we'll talk to you later. Peace.